Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's overnighter is a kind of an elaborate setup. Now, I am in an area that is very familiar to the channel. Some of you viewers may recognize this. I like coming here with large tent setups because it just offers a lot of room. And as you can see, I do have a fairly large tent with me, and I've got enough ground space to actually set it up properly. So it looks like somebody has been here since the last time I've been here. So there are a couple pieces of hardwood already cut, which is tremendously helpful because we're going to be having a very small fire. Not an open fire in the campfire pit, but I did bring a brand new piece of gear with me, and I'm very, very excited to try it out. So I'm going to be cooking likely right here in front of the chair just before the fire pit. And it is calling for rain, so I do have the awning set up just in case it does rain. I can sit right here and continue cooking away. So right now, I'm just kind of relaxing for a few moments. I do have a couple things I want to get set up, so I did bring my table. I'm going to get this set up somewhere around here. Now, I do have a lot of stumps to use as additional tables, which are always helpful in this location. But today, I brought my special Star Wars table. Some of you have already seen this. I'm very, very excited about this. It is all titanium with my logo right in the middle, so I'm pretty happy with this. Going to get this set up, get all my cooking gear on top of it. Tonight's supper is going to be a very, very enjoyable supper as long as everything goes as planned, which I'm pretty sure it will. So I'm just going to get this set up, get all my gear set up, and get out my new piece of gear, set that up, and get a fire going and start on a coffee. Alright guys, I've got all my firewood cut and split that I'm going to need, and honestly I probably have too much, which is totally fine because I'm actually going to be using some of it in the morning to make coffee and breakfast as well. So I did not bring a canister stove, I did not bring a wood stove to a tent. However, I did treat myself to a new piece of gear this last week. And what I ended up getting is a UCO flat pack grill. Now the reason why I wanted this is because I've started doing mini series on my channel all on cooking, and I want to incorporate this both in my cooking series and right here camping because it's just such a handy piece of kit. I have not used this piece of gear yet, so it is my very first time using it today. So bringing you guys along with me. Now, being a very simple item, I highly doubt I'm going to have any issues with it. Pretty sure it's going to work perfectly fine. So inside of the bag I did bring my cutting board, and I also brought my miniature spatula. So put those back in the bag for now. I'm going to be using that later on tonight when it's time for supper. But I'm just going to get this set up, and I think I'm going to put it just down here by my feet, just outside of the tarp. And that should be enough room, enough space. Even with the wind blowing a few embers around, if it happens, they shouldn't go towards the mesh inner. That's about the only thing that I'm worried about. That and forest fires, of course. So I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on this. And the idea with this grill is not to have a blazing fire, even though you can use it as a portable campfire. The idea for it, for me, is to have coals on the bottom to do cooking with. So hopefully it works out. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to have any issues with it. If you guys are wondering, yes, I'll do a review on this once I get a little bit more used to it and see whether I like it or not. But this is the large version. There is a mini version available. And yeah, I just figured I'd treat myself. And I don't often purchase gear for myself, and this was something that I really wanted. And I think it's going to be a great addition to the channel. So I'm going to set this down there, and I am going to get the fire going right now. And this is the only form of cooking that I have. So I'm going to get my pot on there. I brought my 750 pot and my 450 cup. So I'm going to get that on there, boil up some water, and probably have a lukewarm coffee. I'm going to let it chill down a little bit because it is 35 degrees Celsius out right now. I am sweating like crazy, and definitely don't want a campfire. So that's the reason why I brought this, set it off away for cooking, and a little bit of ambient fire maybe later on in the evening. So let's get this set. Let's get a little fire going and make up a cold coffee, or hot coffee, and then let it get cold. I think this is going to be pretty awesome. All right, guys, so far so good. I think I'm already in love with that grill. I'm not upset at the price. They are a little, I mean, it's $50, but for what it comes with, the grill, the stove, the bag, this little neat tong system to pick up the grill so you can actually hook it in and pick the grill up to put wood in there, I'm not too upset with it. I think I'm already in love with it, but time will tell. I'm more worried about what the grill is going to do. Is that going to sag? Is it going to warp really badly? Time will tell. Now, I am going to be cooking on that this evening. I did bring a big piece of salmon, and I'm also going to be cooking some food in my pan on top of that stove. So we will see how it works out a little later on. One little hack that I have for you guys. I did light the fire with birch bark, and often if you can get birch bark off of the tree, if it's just hanging off the tree, if you look on the back side of it, so this is the outside, this is the inside of the tree, if you look at the edge, sometimes you can see the separating fibers of the different layers of bark, and often if you could delaminate it, basically peel it out like that, and then just continue delaminating it, and it'll get thinner and thinner and thinner until you're down to one layer. This makes your just absolutely easy to light fires with fire steels. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is I've been getting asked a lot of questions lately how to use a fire steel. And this right here, again, I'm delaminating just this piece, peeling it off again, and that is just paper thin, like tissue paper thin. You can see it flapping around in the wind. That right there will take a spark without having to rough it up with your knife. It just takes a few minutes and you just delaminate these layers. And it's super simple, and you end up with the world's best tinder if you have birch bark in your area. And then what I like to do is just kind of tear it up into little pieces once it's all delaminated. And you end up with a very, very fine tinder that'll take a spark. And I often recommend people do that for the first time. And once you get the hang of it, then you'll kind of understand the motions of using a fire steel. But I thought this was pretty neat. Just to show you guys, you can make it really, really thin. Now I'm actually going to save that till morning time, so I'm just going to put it in my pocket, and that'll be the morning fire, because I'm going to be cooking coffee and breakfast over the stove again in the morning. And I got to say, right now, those coals are ripping hot. The air is going right through those side holes in the stove. So far, so good. So I'm going to make up this coffee, let it cool down, and just relax for a little bit just before supper time. And then we are going to get into cooking supper, and hopefully this heat will go down. Like I said, it's 35 degrees Celsius out, so it is very, very, very hot. I did bring 2 bottles of water with me, so that's pretty much 1 bottle gone right there. I've got 1 more, but I do have a whole lake off to the side, and I'm going to have to boil up water and then place it back in the bottles for storage. So definitely going to be drinking a lot of liquids on this trip, including coffee. So I'm going to kick back, let that do its thing, and then make up my coffee, and then probably relax for about an hour before I start cooking. All right, guys, it's been quite a while. I've just been kicking back, relaxing, and it's almost 5 o'clock now, so it is definitely time to start cooking supper. I'm letting the stove burn down to coals right now, so there's a piece of hardwood in there burning. I got a few more minutes just to wait for that to burn down. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm cooking. So, I brought a very large piece of salmon. I almost lost it there, almost fell out of the bag. How did I get this out here? So I froze this solid at home, and as you can see, it's not frozen anymore. It is still cold though. And what I did is I packed it inside of a number of bags, and then I rolled it up in the middle of my blanket. So I brought a top quilt, I rolled it up in that, and I crammed it in the stuff sack. That's basically what kept it cold. And then the whole time I've been here with the tent set up, I've had it rolled up in my sweater underneath of the blanket in the shade. It's still quite cold, but it's getting to that point where it does need to be cooked. So I'm going to be cooking that on the grill. Now I did bring honey and olive oil, so I'm going to brush on some olive oil, start cooking it, and then I'm going to drizzle on some honey. And I brought a lemon. I'm going to be zesting this with my little zester. So I'm going to get some lemon zest on top, and then I brought a whole bunch of garlic. So the salmon should be sweet and garlic with a little kick of citrus. And then I'm going to make lemon water with the juice a little later on. But for veggies, I have some spinach in my cup. I brought a couple of little peppers. So I got yellow, red, orange, and then I have a little bit of parsley and spinach in the bottom of here. And then I got a green onion, and then of course I've got garlic. And that's where this little guy comes in, because I can put the garlic in there and then kind of work it back and forth and grind up my garlic to really get the juices flowing. And I'm going to cook all my vegetables in the pan. I'm just going to cook the salmon on the grill over top, hopefully get a nice smoky flavor. And then I got a few spices here that I may put on, I may not. That's basically it. So I do have quite a meal that I want to cook up. And then breakfast is going to be oatmeal and some simple stuff. But I'm looking forward to this. So before I get started, I just want to mention this piece. This is a titanium piece that I made. It was actually part of a grill that was sent to me. Unfortunately, that camp grill got slammed in between either my truck door or my hatch on my SUV. I can't remember. But it basically destroyed the grill. And I didn't want to throw it out because it is personalized. It does say Lone Wolf 902 on it. So it's been sitting on my shelf for a number of months. And over the last week, week and a half, I've been DIYing a lot of camp gear. This is one of the pieces that I finally repurposed. And what I did with it is I made a frying pan handle. So I can actually clamp it in my frying pan, just like that. And now I've got a personalized, lightweight titanium frying pan handle. So I can put that on the grill. The cool thing with this is it also fits on my cup. So if I open up the jaws there, I can clamp it on there, and then I can kind of move my pot onto the fire or on a canister stove. It fits on all of my cookware. So just this little piece of titanium, super lightweight. I will be doing a video on all the DIY projects that I've been working on the last week, week and a half. So this will be one of those things. So I'm just mentioning this now because I know someone's going to ask, what is that and where did you get it from? I repurposed it from an old piece of titanium gear. So I do have that. That fire's almost cooked down that I can get the salmon on there. So I'm going to start with my food prep, getting my garlic ready, my onions cut up, all my veggies cut up, and slowly start cooking away at or getting this all done, and then start cooking away that salmon. Alright guys, I got my salmon cooking away on the grill. I got the pan on top of it just to trap a lot of the heat and the smoke. I've got my lemon zest, I've got garlic, and I've got honey drizzled over top of it. When it's all cooked and it comes off, hopefully it's caramelized, and then I'm going to add my parsley. So I got some fine chopped parsley here. I'm going to add that to it, and then I'm going to cook all my vegetables up in the pan. But right now I'm going to make up some lemon water. This leftover lemon here. I'm just going to squeeze it directly into the bottle. Wonder if I could use my cup. Hold on a second. Nope, still got coffee in that. So I'm just going to squeeze it directly into the bottle. Hopefully I can get most of it in there. Oh yeah, no problem. Do up some lemon water, and then I'm probably going to save a little bit of this lemon juice for the salmon as it comes off the fire there when it's all cooked up. And hopefully supper will be awesome. I imagine it's probably got another 15 minutes to cook on the fire. And at that point I should be able to get the pan off and then start on the vegetables, and hopefully everything will finish up together. Lemon water. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to save the rest of the lemon for the salmon and possibly a little bit more water later on. That tastes really good. So I'm basically just going to sit back and wait till the food's done and then start eating. Alright guys, supper is ready. This tastes awesome. So, running guys through everything. The peppers, the spinach, and the onions were all fried up with a little bit of olive oil. I just put some Italian seasoning and some black pepper onto my cottage cheese and my vegetables. The salmon smells amazing. All the garlic, the lemon zest, the honey. I just put my parsley on top and a little drizzle of honey. Let's get into that, see what that tastes like. Very nice and flaky. Oh. Oh man. It tastes like smoked sweet sticky salmon. Super good. Cottage cheese with that. Oh yeah. This is camp food. This is really good. Go for the little nub of salmon right at the end. It's always the crispiest. Oh my. And the zest of the lemon zest and the honey. A lot of garlic too. Alright, so I'm happy with this. Very happy. All right, guys, supper's all done, and I'm just in the middle of finishing my cleanup. So I have my pan on the fire right now, burning off all the food residue. I've already done that with my spoon, my fork, my spatula. Everything else that had food residue has been cleaned other than the pan on the fire. So that'll take a little bit just to burn off. I gotta say, supper was good. That salmon was absolutely on point with the lemon zest and the honey and the garlic. Super good. Very, very happy with that meal. I'm actually stuffed right now. I am going to have a few snacks a little later on, maybe some crackers, some hummus, and then a little bit of lemon water. So what I'm thinking later on is I'm probably going to take my water, put it into my cup, and put it over the stove and make a hot lemon tea just before bedtime. And I think that's going to be nice because I'm exhausted today. Hiking, working in the summer, cooking, doing everything. Very, very warm out, just wipes me out. I don't do well in hot heat. So I'm ready for bed right now. I know if I crawled in there, I'd be out for the night. So, but one more thing I want to be able to do is sit in front of the fire later on tonight when it's dark out. So I'm going to hold off and stay awake until then. And then finally when I give in, I'm probably going to pass out right away. I'm probably just going to go in, blanket on, and probably out for the rest of the night. I'm thinking I'm going to leave this open and let all that cool air come in. Now that all the scent stuff is gone, I don't think we're going to have any visitors tonight. So I think that's probably a possibility. But for now, I'm going to relax, enjoy a little bit of water, take a few moments to myself, and finally cool off with the temperature coming down. So I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. All right, guys, sunset is finally here. It is getting dark in the forest. The fire is going really, really nicely right now. I've got a bunch of oak and maple, so I did cut up a little bit more wood off camera. I got some of it under the stove drying out. Some of it's a little damp. I actually brought a pocket bellows, so this is just a collapsible pocket bellows. This was an old antenna, and I actually just repurposed it. So just a nice little pocket bellows so I can actually get some air into the coals and get the fire going again. That's something I like bringing when I go hot tent camping in the wintertime as well. So I just been chilling out, and believe it or not, you guys just had a live stream chat with me for over an hour. So I had no idea that cell phone reception was even going to work here. I heard my phone go off from inside of the tent, and it was a text message. And I got the crazy idea of trying to do a live stream out here, and I literally just set it up on the tripod and finished an hour-long live stream with you guys. So thank you guys very much for taking part. That was a lot of fun. I had fun, and you know, this might be something that we do in the future, hopefully a remote location where I have service, and then do a live stream there. So I'm going to be hanging out here for probably the rest of the evening. I'm just kind of looking at some of the colors popping in the skies. It is sunset right now. It's looking pretty good. The bugs are out a little bit, so I'm hoping the smoke drives them away, and the temperature is going to drop a lot tonight. So hopefully these bugs are gone. I would like to hang out and sit right here for quite a while. I do have to boil up some water though, because I drank the last of my water. So I'm going to get my pot full of water, my cup full of water. Once that burns down, get them both on the grill with some lake water, boil that up and sterilize it. And then I'll have water for tonight and tomorrow as well. But I think this is going to be it for the rest of the evening. I'm just going to lounge here. There's not going to be a whole lot to see. I'm not going to be doing anything other than lounging right here and probably make up some water and maybe snack on a few snacks. And then I'm going to jump inside, get changed out of these clothes, and go to sleep, and then get up hopefully early in the morning and have a nice hot cup of coffee. So I'll check back with you guys just before I do jump in the tent to say goodnight and let you guys know what happens between now and then. Alright guys, it is now pitch black out. I got the campfire going pretty good. I'm probably going to sit out here for maybe another hour. I've got my flashlight at the ready, and I've got 2 lights here just in case I do hear anything kind of bumping around in the woods. I like having a light there just in case, and there it goes. Just in case anything kind of bumps around in the night, it's nice to be able to see what's going on there. But everything's cleaned up. I just got to get the table inside of the tent once I do go inside. I'm probably just going to say goodnight right now because it is fairly dark. I'm losing light for filming and whatnot. So I'm going to pack the camera away and leave this out for now. But then when I do go in, I'm going to bring everything inside with me and probably put one last log on there. That way I'll be able to lay in there and watch the fire out front and just kind of lounge around in the tent. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys now, and I'll see you first thing in the morning for a hot cup of coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, guys. It is a beautiful, nice, crisp, and cool morning out here. It is fairly windy right now though, and I'm just kind of enjoying my coffee. I do have my pot back on the fire. I'm going to boil up that water, and I brought with me 2 packs of oatmeal for breakfast, a little bit of fresh fruit, and of course some honey. So that's going to be breakfast today. And it got cold last night, I will say that. It was very, very warm right up until about 11 o'clock. And then that cold air came in and the cool breeze came in the tent. And I tell you, when I got up this morning, I had to throw my sweater on me because it was cold. And even right now, I can still feel the cold air on my hands. So definitely enjoying this. There are no bugs out yet. And as long as the air stays cool and the wind keeps blowing through here, I think we'll be okay with no bugs. But like I said, for now, I'm just doing a morning routine, and I'm going to enjoy my coffee, wait for that water to boil, and then I'm going to make up some oatmeal. Alright guys, I'm all finished up with my breakfast and oatmeal and coffee and all that good stuff. Got out of my comfy pajamas, so that was a bit of a challenge, but I just want to go through my sleep system because I know I'm going to get asked about it, so I might as well take the time to show it to you guys just before I do start packing up the inner tent and all my sleeping gear. So where it was 35 degrees Celsius yesterday and it got down to 5 degrees Celsius last night, it was quite chilly. I didn't bring a sleeping bag, however. All I brought with me was my One Wind hammock blanket. So this is a unique blanket where it has some snaps, and what I did is I just snapped together just the bottom. It's still wide open, but I just created a little bit of a foot box area just so the blanket wouldn't flop off of me. Now I will be doing a review on this product because I've already been getting asked a lot of questions about it. So that's all I had with me, was just a big old blanket. I mean, this thing is very, very large. Realistically, I think it covers the entire footprint of this tent. So this is like a 2-person blanket. It's made for a hammock. Incredible product. I will have a review on all of the One Wind products that I have very soon. Then the sleeping pad is one that a lot of you probably recognize. This is my Unigear sleeping pad. I have this in blue as well, and now I'm happy to have it in green because I love this color. And that is it. That's it for the inside. Very, very basic, very simple. Just my Unigear sleeping pad and my One Wind blanket. And that was everything. I slept very, very warm. There was a couple times where I actually had to take the blanket off because I was starting to get too warm. I slept in my t-shirt and I used my sweater as a pillow. And I had a really good night's sleep. So I probably went to bed at, I want to say, about 12:30 at night after I watched my movie. And I woke up at about 7 o'clock this morning, and beautiful, beautiful sleep, nice, cozy, and warm, and I was really happy with that. So I think right now I'm going to take the mesh inner out, get my blanket packed away, my sleeping pad packed away, and just leave the outer tent. Maybe sit back and enjoy a coffee for a few moments before I then take down the outer tent get everything back inside of my backpack, and then hopefully that fire will be out by then. That is a lot of gear to fit inside of a 65-liter pack, and it is all in there very nicely. There, it's official. That is not too bad. I'm actually quite surprised that went together that easily. I always find packing up when leaving camp to be more difficult than packing the bag at home. But this time, looks like it went pretty well. So, I do have a bunch of firewood left over. I've neatly stacked it just down here by my feet for the next person that shows up here. They can enjoy a little bit of that as I enjoy a little bit of their leftover firewood yesterday. So all in all, the campsite looks pretty nice and clean. I do have a very long hike to get out of here though, so I'm going to be getting this on my backpack, just doing a once over around camp, making sure I didn't leave anything behind, and basically start hiking out of here. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this overnighter. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comment section and I'll be sure to get back to you. And peace out, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.